Now at 7 on WKYT this morning, 6 fallen Kentucky officers are being honored this weekend as part of National Police Week. A closer look at how thousands are remembering them, and more than 24 Richmond police officers are in Washington for Police Week. Find out who's helping out to cover their shifts. And Lexington police are cracking down on violent crime in one area of the city, what area that is, and how they're trying to keep it safe. Ahead on WKYT this morning.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. Thanks so much for joining us on this Saturday morning. I'm Michelle Chamberlain. Meredith Jones has the morning off, and Sean Moody is on assignment in Washington, D.C., covering National Police Week. Mike Linden is here, and you know what? He doesn't have the best news, that is. It's going to be 20 degrees lower than it typically is this time of year, right?
That's right, Michelle. Cooler air coming in from the northwest is really going to drive the theme for our weekend here in the Bluegrass. Right now, it's actually pushing in active weather in the form of, what do you know, more rain. Now, this doesn't have the heavy downpour or stormy look that we've been dealing with for the past several days, but it is still a little pesky across central Kentucky, enough to drop some rain on the windshield this morning. There is that cold front stretching from the Great Lakes all the way southward into Texas, and there's that cold air, a lot of it beginning to work its way in from the west. Now, this is also pretty important to look at, too. Look at the winds behind this cold front, really beginning to gust up now between about 20 and 35 miles per hour. So not only will things be a little cooler than normal, it also is primed to be a bit of a breezy day out there as well. But of course, a cold front is exactly that, the front of colder air. And with that, it looks like temperatures might take a big dip down overnight tonight. Coming up, I'll show you how low we'll go and whether or not you'll need to cover up those plants. Michelle?
6 fallen officers from Kentucky are among those being honored in Washington, D.C. this weekend as part of National Police Week. Thousands of people came together last night to honor those fallen officers with a vigil, from police officers to family to supporters. They all gathered on the National Mall to remember the 252 lost. That list includes several names from Kentucky: Daniel Ellis, Eric Chrisman, Cameron Ponder, Burke Rhodes, Clifford Travis, and Blake Tribby. Their names are now etched permanently on the National Law Enforcement Memorial.
Every day, the men and women in this nation's law enforcement services put themselves in harm's way in order to secure our communities, to defend our values, and to make real the promise of liberty and justice for all.
More than 24 Richmond police officers are in Washington for the National Police Week events, and other law enforcement agencies around Madison County are helping cover emergency calls in Richmond while those officers are out of town. Berea police say they're offering their services at no cost to the Richmond Police Department.
It's been said before, but law enforcement is a brotherhood, and we're all like one big family. You know, Madison County has 2 cities in it, which is a little bit unique, and we work closely together.
The Madison County Sheriff's Office and EKU Police are also helping with calls in Richmond. WKYT's Sean Moody is in Washington, D.C. this weekend. Today, he'll talk to the family members of some of the fallen Kentucky officers. Tune in to WKYT tonight at 6 and 11 to hear from them. Police are cracking down on crime in one part of Lexington. They say in the past 6 months, there's been a rash of violent crimes near the strip club Camelot East. That's over on Richmond Road. WKYT's Mike Byers in the studio this morning, taking a closer look at the club crackdown. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Michelle. Lexington police say violence and other violations involving marijuana and alcohol have led the city's alcoholic beverage control to revoke Camelot East liquor license. That string of violence, police say, includes 2 murders outside of the club and at least 3 shootings since November. People working in the shopping center adjacent to the club tell us they don't feel safe at night because of that violence. In one case, a bullet also hit a neighboring animal hospital. The club is appealing that decision, and police say it could take more than a year to resolve the case.
Afraid that there'll be other incidents in the area, just like the ones we saw in November, December, February, that ultimately led to 2 people losing their lives on different occasions.
Now, we couldn't reach anyone from Camelot East or the club's attorney for comment. Lexington police say they have active investigations or hearings involving 3 other clubs: Camelot West, Paradise City, and Club Envy. Now, again, police say they're attempting to expedite that appeals process, but say it could take more than a year to have the case resolved, and until it is, the club will be allowed to serve alcohol. In the studio, back to you, Michelle.
Thank you, Mike. Lexington police have released surveillance pictures showing the suspect in a robbery that took place outside of Kroger on Takes Creek. The robbery happened Thursday in the parking lot of the Takes Creek Road Kroger. Police say a 54-year-old woman was putting groceries into her car when a man walked up and grabbed her purse. Take a good look at the guy. They say the woman tried to fight him off, but he hit her in the face and ran off. Police released a surveillance picture they say shows the suspect. They say another surveillance picture shows the truck the man used to drive away. A sinkhole that opened up near a Garrett County home has been filled up. Garrett County leaders say they worried the sinkhole would threaten nearby Fork Church Road, so they brought in dirt to fill it up yesterday morning. They say other than a broken water line, the sinkhole did not cause any structural damage to the home itself. A stretch of the Bluegrass Parkway is clear this morning in Nelson County after a deadly crash backed up traffic for hours. It happened late yesterday afternoon in the westbound lanes near Bardstown. Police say a tractor trailer and an SUV collided. They say the driver of the SUV was killed and the driver of the tractor trailer was injured. At one point, traffic was backed up for miles on the parkway. Police still aren't sure what caused that crash. Now, the U.S. Postal Service says it's starting new safety initiatives to protect postal workers from dogs. This comes weeks in the week of National Dog Bite Prevention Week. The Postal Service says more than 6,500 of its employees were attacked by dogs last year. One mailman in Lexington says he's been bitten by a small dog before, and he says large dogs can cause a lot of damage.
It can cause you your career to end. It bites your leg or something, that tears a muscle or something like that, and you can't walk. That's what we do, walk.
The Postal Service says customers will now be asked to indicate if they have a dog at their address when they schedule a package pickup online. And later this spring, mail carriers will be able to indicate whether an address has a dog when they scan packages for delivery. Your time is 7:07 on this Saturday morning. Hope it's off to a good start. There's plenty ahead on WKYT this morning. A biopic on Misty Copeland is in the works. Details on the new movie coming up in about 10 minutes.
And right now we are tracking wet weather moving through the Bluegrass, but this is just the first of some big things on the way for Kentucky coming up. I'll show you what lies just to the west of that rain.
Welcome back to WKYT this morning. Your time is 6:10 on your beautiful Saturday morning. Here's a look at what's going on today. The Officers Down 5K is coming to Richmond today. It'll start at Madison Central High School at 8 o'clock this morning. The 5K is an annual event that represents and celebrates officers. The event will benefit Kentucky State Police, and there will be a police procession before the 5K and a community day afterward. You can still register for the event this morning at the high school. Thousands are expected to walk at Keeneland for the 2016 Central Kentucky Heart Walk today. Registration begins at 8 o'clock this morning and the walk starts at 9. The event supports the American Heart Association. There will be a kids area, health screenings, games, entertainment, and snacks at the walk. For more information, you can go to the website you see on your screen. The walk is free. Today, R.J. Corman is holding a 5K run walk. It'll be the R.J. Corman Railroad Group in Nicholasville. Gates will open at 7 o'clock this morning and the race will start at 9. You can still register for the race today for $25. All of the money raised benefits the Christalis House, which offers substance abuse treatment programs for women.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Mike Linden.
To any of those community events, you're going to more than likely run into some showers. Nothing as heavy as what we've seen over the past several days, but really the big story too today will be cooler than normal temperatures. Right now on the Defender radar network, notice how the rain is very quickly brushing its way through central Kentucky. Now it does have some areas of heavier downpours right now pushing through the northern Bourbon County area, as well as beginning to move through Woodford County and into western Fayette County. But as we've seen over the past few days, this is nothing compared to where we have been over the past several days. This is all out ahead of a rather large cold front stretching from the Great Lakes all the way south toward Texas. And what's important to remember with this front is that out ahead of it, those winds are still coming in from the south. That means temperatures are running warm and conditions are a little moist coming in from the Gulf of Mexico. To the west, though, that's where the cooler, drier air is, and soon enough, that is going to begin to dominate things. You can already see over near the Owensboro area those winds coming in from the northwest, but you look just a little bit to the east or to the south, still seeing those winds coming in from the south. Now, temperatures right now are in the mid to high 50s, which is pretty much where we'll end up for our daytime highs out there today. But with the cooler air beginning to work its way in, look how that's impacting temperatures. Cooling down over Jefferson County and toward the Owensboro area. Right now in the upper 40s in Owensboro, but in Lexington almost 10 degrees cooler than that in the upper 50s. So those temperatures are actually going to be working their way down here over the next few hours as we get adjusted to this cooler air. And then as we get into the afternoon, the sunshine will help things gain a few of those lost degrees back. We're really going to be playing behind the 8 ball this afternoon as the temperatures, or the ceiling on our temperatures rather, runs very low compared to where we should be this time of year, which is the mid 70s. Bear in mind, we are a little over a month away from the start of summer. It's not going to feel like it at all today. Check out your hour by hour. We'll fast forward to 8 o'clock this morning, still dealing with the wet weather pushing eastward. So again, if you're heading to any of those outdoor events, just bear in mind you're more than likely going to see some rainfall, not a lot, but some. And then those temperatures, you'll want to dress appropriately for that. Cooler than normal, which some people like. It will certainly be comfortable as we head into our afternoon. But then as we get into the afternoon, we see some improvement, getting back to the mid to high 50s under mostly cloudy skies. It isn't until overnight tonight that we lose that cloud cover and that cold air really dominates, because look at those temperatures Sunday morning. The mid to low 30s. That means that we could certainly be dealing with frosty conditions as we kick off our Sunday, and that means that if you waited until Derby Day to plant things, you have some pretty young plants in the ground. Be sure to cover them up with cloth, not with plastic, because that will end up killing them. You want to use cloth overnight because look at those temperatures falling back into the mid 30s. That is certainly the story of the weekend. The wet weather, we'll get it through here within the next few hours. Won't be sticking around for much longer. But if you really do want that wet weather to stick around, you won't have to wait long. We return to a stormy pattern on Monday. But Michelle, looking at that 7-day, we won't be back to normal temperature-wise until the middle of next week in the mid-70s. So a bit of a dip down through the weekend.
And it's good to know cloth, not plastic. That explains how I killed a lot of plants in the last few years.
Plastic will suffocate the plants, so don't want to use plastic.
Good advice there by Mike Linden. So golfers aim for birdies while they're on the green, but they probably don't expect to save any birds while they're playing, right?
No, probably not. So take a look at this. Pro golfer Greg Owen saw a baby bird drowning in a water hazard on the course. So naturally, of course, he stripped down to his underwear to wade into the water to save the little birdie. So the golfer made the rescue during a practice round of the Players' Championship, and here's hoping that maybe he has better luck, maybe getting an eagle in the next round. Michelle, you like that golf pun there?
I did.
It was a hole
You're
in
good
one.
at puns. Oh, that was a good one, too.
Give
me another one. Come on. I put you on the spot.
I don't know. I mean, I'm up to my legs in sand. It's terrible. This is what happens.
That was good. You're on a roll.
I don't know.
You're on a roll.
I mean, I might as well hit myself over the head with a club.
I'm teeing you off. Here you go.
Yeah, you see, that was a good one.
That was a good one. Oh, I got so excited I dropped my pen.
See, that was a good one.
Oh, we're having fun here on WKYT this morning. When we come back, George Clooney and Julia Roberts are the powerhouse acting duo leading Money Monster. A sneak peek at the movie coming up. Welcome back to WKYT this morning. Two kinds of thrillers head to the theaters this weekend, and Misty Copeland's biography is also heading to the big screen. Rick DeMagilla has those stories and more.
Here he is, the Wizard of Wall Street himself.
The name is Lee Gates. The show is Money Monster. Without risk, there is no reward.
George Clooney and Julia Roberts are the powerhouse acting duo leading Money Monster into theaters this weekend. The latest directorial turn from Jodie Foster is tracking to have a $12 million opening weekend, according to Deadline, though according to The Hollywood Reporter, studio estimates from Sony are pegging it lower at approximately $10 million.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Can you tell Michael to stay out of my room? He keeps leaving dirty hand marks everywhere.
The latest release from horror genre specialists Blumhouse is The Darkness. The scary tale of malevolent Native American spirits that haunt a suburban family is hoping to pull in around $5 million in its debut, according to industry pundits. Casting news, Deadline Hollywood reports New Line Cinema has picked up the film rights for the Misty Copeland biography, Life in Motion, An Unlikely Ballerina. Copeland was the first African-American woman to become principal dancer with the American Ballet Theater. Gregory Allen Howard, the writer of films including Remember the Titans and Ali, will write the script. The music has faded out for Nashville. Variety reports ABC has canceled the one-hour country music-focused drama after 4 seasons. The current season finale, airing May 25th, will now be the series finale.
Where am I?
At 6 p.m. yesterday evening, you were executed.
The first trailer for the Assassin's Creed movie adaptation is out. The film is based on the video game series produced by Ubisoft and stars Michael Fassbender as a man who relives an ancestor's life as a 15th century Spanish assassin. Assassin's Creed hits theaters December 21st. For Hollywood Minute, I'm Rick Damigella.
We'll be right back.
John Calipari said on Friday, part 3 of his vision of the program for the next decade and beyond. It'll be out on Monday, so you have to wait for that. As for the immediate future, Cal said Wednesday he expects to have another pretty good team with returning veterans who are experienced and talented freshmen, including Big Bam Adebayo.
You have a beast. We've missed a beast for a year, like an absolute, you know, if he gets it, he's either trying to dunk it or dunk your arm, or he's gonna, and then you got those long athletes we've always had.
Kentucky and Ole Miss, game 2 of their baseball series last night in Oxford, and it was not good. You had to feel good thinking Dustin Beggs was on the bump, but the Rebels get to him early. Tate Blackman connects. It's gone. 2-0 Ole Miss on the 2-run jack. J.B. Woodman, he's up next, showing good opposite field power. The solo homer makes it 3-0, and it just got worse and a lot worse for the Wildcats. Woodman again picks up another base hit to center field. The Wildcats get walloped on the road. Beggs with his worst outing of his UK career. Ole Miss 14-2 winners. Top ranked in 31-0. Greenup County meeting Lafayette. Last night, General starter Jackson Boggs was dealing right out of the chute. He gets the first 2 batters he faces on strikes. Greenup County with some defense of their own. Future Morehead State Eagle Brody Shue. Hey, make a play. Hey, get up, make another play. A strike to second. A double play. It is Daddy David. He goes, yep, that's my boy. Yep, that's how I taught him. A 3-run homer is the decisive blow, and Greenup County now 32-0. They win 4-1. The Reds in Philadelphia last night. Tyler Barnhart, drive to left field. Tyler Goodell playing like Eddie Goodell. So he drops it. A 2-run error, and Cincinnati is on the board twice. Goodell redeems himself, not batting like Eddie Goodell. Shot down the right field line into the corner. 2-run score to tie the game. Goodell to third with a triple. Then the Phillies squeeze him in. Jeremy Hellickson with a nice bunt. And that's how it would finish. The Reds lose to the Phillies, final 3-2. That is sports. Hope you have a great Saturday and a great weekend.
Welcome back to WKYT this morning. Your time is 7:42. Here's a look at some of the events that are going on today. It's the 5th annual Kentucky Dachshund Derby. 4 different races take place at Masterson Station Park today from 9 to 5 o'clock. There will also be a car show, lunch, music, a silent auction, and of course the Derby, which should be entertaining. The big race is set for 4:40 this afternoon. The day is also about helping all types of dogs get adopted. Tickets for adults are just $1, and kids get in for free. The Lexington Humane Society is holding a Mutt Strut today. It's a 2K dog-friendly walk that helps benefit animals. The walk is at Coldstream Park. Registration begins at 9 o'clock this morning. The cost for the Mutt Strut is $30. The walk begins at 10:30. Now, after the event, there will be an ice cream party for people, and of course, there are pooches.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with Mike Linden.
Today, at least to start off, looks like a bit of a wet day, whether it be for man or man's best friend. We are tracking showers moving across the bluegrass this morning, moving rather quickly, mind you. It was just very loud on top of our roof here on our station at on Winchester Road here at WKYT, but that has since pushed quickly across Fayette County, now moving into Clark County. All of this active weather is all part of a very large cold front system that's stretching from the Great Lakes southward all the way toward Texas. And what we'll see today is a big pattern switch, because lately we've had the air coming in from the warm Gulf of Mexico, but now the air beginning to shift a little bit, coming in from the cooler and drier northwest. So right now we are still finding that air coming in from the south, but notice you look toward the Louisville and Owensboro area, that cold northwesterly flow is already beginning to take over. That's going to have a big impact on your temperatures, because right now, well, this is pretty much where we'll be this afternoon, if not a little bit cooler in a few spots. The mid to high 50s to kick off the morning in central Kentucky, but some spots over western Kentucky have already begun to cool down, that being Jefferson County and Owensboro, in the upper 40s and lower 50s in Louisville. So we'll take a step back with our temperatures here over the next few hours, and then we'll begin to recover, but only by a little bit. Getting back into the mid to high 50s today really all hinges on whether or not we get the sunshine, and we'll see that breaking through a little bit as we head into our afternoon today, but it's not enough to push us back to normal, which is the mid 70s for this time of year. So we will be way off from that point, almost 10 to 15 degrees off. So we'll start you off at 8 o'clock this morning, so about 15-20 minutes from now. And once we see that wet weather track its way eastward across the bluegrass, that's when this cold front will really begin to dominate. That cooler air by noon today, stepping back all the way into the lower 50s and upper 40s across the state. Into the middle of our day, a few scattered showers, but temperatures should work their way back into the mid to high 50s. Again, it really all hinges on the cloud cover as we get into the middle of our day. Overnight tonight, though, as we begin to lose the cloud cover, of course, colder air, typically drier, look what happens to those overnight lows, falling back into the mid to low 30s. That is certainly enough for a frosty Sunday morning, and that means that if you planted anything outdoors, you will certainly need to take the proper steps to cover them up in some cloth, because temperatures in the mid 30s, not normally what you'd expect to run into here in the middle of May. Once we get into the upcoming work week, though, we're right back at the stormy pattern. Of course, cooler air still coming in from the north, but that warm, moist Gulf of Mexico air will begin to work its way back to the region, and that will trigger what looks to be another active work week filled with storm chances. But for the rest of your weekend, if you plan on being outdoors, just know that temperatures are going to run cooler than normal today and tomorrow as well. And then overnight tonight, if you plan on being out late tonight, well, be sure to have a light jacket with you. Couldn't hurt to toss one in the back seat early on, because with temperatures falling back into the mid 30s, well, Michelle, that feels more like a fall overnight period, let alone a late spring.
I think I can say this for all the viewers watching. I think everyone's eyeing Thursday. You know, that big break from the rain.
Yeah, Thursday looks pretty good, and temperatures will be back to normal, too. But that'll be the first time in nearly a week that we'll be back to normal.
We need it, right?
Yeah.
So dogs usually love to run around in the yard, but one pup in North Carolina really loves his daycare. What do you think of that?
This is Riley. Now, one night, he escaped his backyard, something that I know I freak out about when my dogs get out, and he was on the run. But where did his owners find him? Well, waiting in front of his doggy daycare, obviously. Riley's owners say they've promised to take him to his beloved daycare more often. Clearly, that's where he wants to be.
What does that mean?
I don't know. When my dog gets out, she thinks it's a game when you go to try and catch her. So
what does she
runs,
do?
Oh, runs around the entire neighborhood. Remember that day when it was 20 below zero?
Yeah. Oh,
yep,
oh,
chasing
she was
her
out and
outside
about?
in that. Oh, yeah. That was fun.
What a sweet dog.
Thanks, Kiko. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Kiko. Your time is nope, it's 7:47. We'll have more news when we come back.
Kentucky mornings start here. You're watching WKYT This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Bill Bryant. We hope you're enjoying your weekend. There are signs of it everywhere. Kentucky's primary election is coming up this Tuesday. Democratic presidential candidates Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders are set to return to Kentucky and campaign this weekend. And Fayette County Clerk Don Blevins says everything is set to go for the primary. Are the machines set on zero and ready to go?
The machines are indeed set on zero and ready to go.
And that's a process to get them in place and out to these polling places. Tell us a little bit about the challenges of getting workers trained, getting precinct locations identified.
Correct. We have a little over 1,000 pieces of equipment. We set those about a month ago. We've gone through testing and checking to make sure indeed they are set to zero. This week we've been delivering the machines to the various locations. It takes literally a week plus Monday to get get all the machines in place. Election officers have been trained over the last month. We're ready to go.
How does that process go? Does that take quite some time to get the precinct workers ready?
Oh, yes. We have a little over 1,300 officers now, and it takes about 20 classes worth of election classes to get them trained, including machine training. That's an additional class for any new clerks.
And on that day, they have some pretty awesome responsibilities.
Absolutely, Bill. It's a long day. It's a thankless job, a 12-hour day, plus a little bit on the front end and back end. I hope people should turn out and make it worthwhile for all of us.
Across the state, we have a record number of Kentuckians registered to vote, 3.2 million or so. The Secretary of State is predicting a turnout of around 20%. Would you anticipate that Fayette County will best that number?
Maybe just a bit, but not much. This one's going to be hard to predict, Bill. The effect of the Bernie Sanders Hillary Clinton race will raise the Democrat turnout, I believe, but that will likely be offset by the lack of Republicans who seem to be confused about whether they even have a primary.
And let's talk a little bit about that, because it is confusing for Republicans. In some cases, there was a caucus instead in March.
Correct. So the Republican Party actually voted for its presidential candidates back in March in the caucus, as you said, but there are still other races that are on the ballot for the primary. You can vote for U.S. Senator, you can vote for U.S. Congress, and in a few precincts in Fayette County, you can actually vote for state representative. The 72nd district seat is being contested in the Republican side.
And we don't have any council seats that required primary, right?
No, there are no nonpartisan races. So if you're nonpartisan, there's no point in going to the polls because you have nothing you can vote for.
All right, which brings up a point. Kentucky has a closed primary.
Correct.
And that means you vote only within your party. Other states obviously have opted for an open primary, a trend that seems to be growing around the country. Do you think Kentucky would ever embrace that?
I don't think so. The current leadership in both the House and the Senate for both parties feels pretty strongly about the closed primary. You can make the argument that if we're going to have political parties, it seems only right that the people that are in that party vote for their candidates. The time certainly seems ripe for a third party to appear.
Now, also on Kentucky Newsmakers, we'll hear from UK political behavior expert Dr. Stephen Voss, and we'll look at some clips from the campaign trail. Our pre-primary edition of Kentucky Newsmakers will air tomorrow morning at 6 on WKYT, and it repeats tomorrow at 10 a.m. on the CW Lexington. Set your DVR or catch it one of those times. I'm Bill Bryant. We'll be right back on WKYT This Morning.
Welcome back to WKYT This Morning. This just in, Lexington police say they have arrested Larry Thomas Bird, he's 33 years old, in connection with the robbery that took place at Takes Creek Kroger a couple of days ago. Now, coming up on CBS This Morning, there is debate over the risk of driving while under the influence of marijuana. Chris Van Cleve has more on this story. That's coming up on CBS This Morning.
And as far as the weather goes, Michelle, it's a little wet this morning in central and northern Kentucky, but once we get past the morning hours, only some scattered showers left over. But as cooler air from the northwest begins to filter in, that's going to make temperatures really lag behind. I mean, our ceiling on our temperatures will be very low today. Normal for this time of year is the mid-70s, and we won't be anywhere close to that. The mid to high 50s and lower 60s the next few days, but look at overnight tonight and into Sunday, falling back into the mid to low 30s. Could be some frost out there to kick off Sunday, so if you have plants outside, get them covered up in some cloth.
Covered up with cloth, not plastic. Nobody's more up to date than you. Remember to always keep it here on WKYT and WKYT.com. Thanks for joining.